Hello, hello. How you guys doing? Good morning. Do you read YouTube chats? I do. Hey, what's up? How you doing, guys? Good morning and afternoon. Dude, Grid, what's up? Esuppy, Conan, Jenny, Glim, Ardang, Conan, Lamb, Squall, Moodsar, how you doing? Scrubs. Can't say for long. Been up for like 30 hours? You watched 24 hours? Wait, you watched the full entire 24 hours Le Mans? That's crazy, my guy. That's actually kind of wild. I hope everyone had a good Saturday, man. Honestly, yesterday was like semi-nice weather. Today seems even nicer, so... JQ, thank you so much for 5 tier 1s, man. And also, Ivaza, thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Check your DMs. I will later, Sushi. Like I said, this weekend, I'm trying to be a little lighter with just my activity online. Just for personal reasons, but, you know. Also, hi, Arts. How you doing? I remember you. I guess are you going by anxious now? Said F it and just sand it and Scotch Brite at my near finished tempo accent. Oh, I'd like to see how that looks. Where are my DMs, huh? No one trying to hit me up on the low? I'm sorry, Scrubs. I'll send you a DM too.
17
Corgi,
months
up,
of positivity and questionable chip flavor opinions.
Questionable?
I hope that you are having a well-deserved great day. Less than 3.
My salt chips? Thank you so much, Corgi. I appreciate the 17 months. And JQ, thank you so much again, man. I love you, buddy. Thanks for starting streaming. A nice back video. Oh, yeah. Honestly, CK, I feel that. A lot of people say that it's just good video to have in the background for built-in keeps. Is YouTube also going to be the norm? Yes. Primary will always be Twitch, but I figured might as well just start doing both now. You know why? It's because Twitch is poo-poo with the VODs. They don't do a great job with VODs. So, how am I doing today? I'm okay. I feel a little bit rough around the edges, but I feel like I slept pretty nice. I feel like the temperature sleeping last night also felt pretty good, so I don't know. I'm okay, guys. I think I'm just happy to be here, is all. Also, thank you very much, Arts. I appreciate you. I guess anxious. So, I can stream 1440p on YouTube? Yes. Should be able to. Yeah, I'm just happy that both platforms can watch. Very excited for this build. Just got my add-on on Friday. Dude, I saw that they're all sold out now, too. Well, most of them, not all of them.
Happy Father's Day, Mustache Daddy.
Thanks. Oh yeah, happy Father's Day to everyone celebrating and all the fathers in chat too. Fun fact, my daughter's name is Ada. Is it pronounced, no Marky, is it Ada or Ada? Is it option 1 or 2 there? Ada or Ada? I was assuming that it's pronounced Ada or like Ada or something like that, but it could also be Ada. If you remember, but I had a similar issue with my GAR not typing but getting power. Took apart, looked closely, and found a spot that looks like traces are poking through the PCB. Got a new one. Oh, really? They still haven't sent my replacement daughter board for that one there. But my EC one works just fine. Alex, not seen our comment? What happened? Not seen our comment? What happened, Lamb? I see comments on both ends. Trust me, Alex. Buy a bed jet. What's a bed jet? Sounds like a fan. Great to see these YouTube streams as well, Alex. Anytime, bro. I'm thinking the menu for MX PCB's fumbled a bit. Maybe, yeah. First option? Ada? Okay. Thank you, Elkwan. Appreciate it, man. Board I'm using is the Manta today. Been, vibing with the Manta. Although I'm not sold on which case I like more now that I've assembled the acrylic. But yeah. Also, Elkwan, thank you so much again, bro. Bed jets are like big fans you put underneath the covers in your bed. Wait, that sounds kind of like insanely awesome. I kind of want to do that now. That sounds like so much fun. Okay. First, I just want to say thanks everyone for tuning in today. JN, thank you so much for the tier 1
sub to Freeze Trap 07.
Thank you, dude. So two little things. First of all, the Holy 80, I'm retrieving a PCB for. So hopefully we can do that in the next week. I didn't know it didn't come with the PCB.
Looking forward to the Manta from you and Mr. Bold. Keep slaying the content, my man.
Thank you. I'll try my best, bro. Thank you so much. But yeah, Baka, to kind of like fill you in on that, the Holy 80 will still get done. I just need a PCB. I didn't realize they weren't sending over a PCB with it, so I'm sourcing one as we speak.
This community wouldn't
you,
be the
JN.
same without you, man. Hope all is well.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that. That's so kind. But yeah, I'll work on getting a PCB for the Holy 80. Today will be the ATA from Geist. Show us the flame patina?
Wow, 32 months. Happy
32
Father's Day to all of the moms out
I
there.
just rolled over my foot. It looks good. Honestly, I feel like today it looks even better. I feel like I just needed like a day to settle. But it turned out pretty cool. Again, I think my thought process is if I use a bigger flame, I'll be able to get a cooler patina on this. Thank you, Koya. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. No, I don't know if the thumbnail updated properly for the YouTube stream, but we're building the ATA today, the ATA. How cool is that? Didn't that turn pretty cool? Cool, right? That is a nice patina. Honestly, even if you use the same flame, it's super sexy. Yeah, so I made some mistakes, which I don't know if we'll be able to properly show off. So, 2 mistakes. One mistake here.
Alexotos love.
Thank you, Clark. I appreciate it, man. One mistake right here, which was I was cleaning the surface with a cleaner, and I thought I got all the cleaner off, but you can tell number 1 here. Number 2 is while it was drying, I tried to wipe it down. Like not drying per se, but while it was cooling. So I wiped it down with a clean cloth, and it was fine first, but then I tried dampening the cloth, and it kind of left some streaks. Which, I don't know, I feel like it kind of adds to the roughness of it a little bit. But yeah, you can see some issues there. So this is my first time doing this. But for the most part, everything else turned out great. And I think a few spots were just because there were some like already patinaed thumbprints underneath. But yeah, pretty cool. Turned out really, really sick. I should have done the inside here. I totally forgot to do that part. Which, I mean, I can just literally go do it again. But yeah, I mean, I made a boo-boo. I'm hoping next time I get to do this, I won't make a boo-boo. You know? It's great to see you again. Thank you, Squill. I appreciate that. I remember you, man. It's more character. Thanks, guys. Do you wash the mode obscures then relube them? No, I actually just go right over the stock lube. I don't think with a lot of switches you need to remove the stock lube unless it's like insanely overlubed. If it's too much, then yeah, you have to go over it. Patina services? Okay, a few people have now DM'd me about that. Here's the thing. I want to do patina services. I think that would be super cool. I am not comfortable with doing people's services yet until I'm happy with my own results. Unless you want something like super raw and you're willing to let me practice on your stuff, then go for it. We can work something out. But as of right now, I'm considering doing very light patina services. I won't be doing some of like the chemical stains for now, though. I think it's mainly going to be flame patinas. But yeah, I'm learning on my own accord. So we'll see. Yeah, Mode has a patina. Do they have a patina
Hi,
service?
everybody.
Tech, thank you so much for the tier 1, man. Thank you, dude. But yeah, yesterday we did a bunch of family stuff. Friday night we ended up going to a barbecue place. We just needed to, not to get into too much details. I think I needed a good distraction all weekend long. And now we get to spend some time together today. I feel super mentally refreshed. Tonight, I'm going to do some chores, some cleaning, you know? And then Monday, we're back to doing stuff. So, yeah, I think the mental refresh is necessary. And honestly, if you guys are kind of suffering from some, like, brain fog and stuff like that, dude, just take the time to mental refresh yourself. Honestly, it's so worth it, dude. So nice. So worth it. Thank you, Cammy. I appreciate that. And also, Bricks, thanks for the bits, dude. Appreciate it too, man. Finally streams on YouTube. Thanks, dude. Alex, can I ask, how much of a difference is the brass mid-piece compared to the copper for the Parabolica? Brass versus copper in general is not crazy different. Like, I don't notice a huge sound difference between the two. It's mainly aesthetics and I think, to some degree, some weight, I believe. I'm not sure which one's
a good distraction.
actually
Less
heavier,
than 3,
but...
always a vibe relaxing to your streams.
Thank you, dude. Appreciate it, man. This community is my mental refresh. Suppy, thank you, man. Nord, hope all is well, bro. Alex, looking fresh today. Thank you, dude. I don't usually watch you live, but I love your work and has taken a lot of inspiration from your vids and builds. Love from Denmark. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I try my best. I guess to those kind of new to the stream, if anyone's kind of watching for the first time on whatever platform, I do want to thank everyone for at least tuning in. Thanks, guys, for support over the last like 5+ years. And my name's Alex. I kind of just do keyboards here. We kind of talk a lot about life and food and other random things. I'd like to say that we do get to review keyboards, but I'd like to say mostly we get to kind of showcase and then pinpoint what could be improved on and provide feedback as a community that way. I'm a firm believer that when you're in a hobby like this, there's only so much that can be objectively wrong with something. There's a lot of subjective matter to keyboards, and I hope people understand that point of view. I hope people can kind of see that it's not always just about what's the best, because the best varies from person to person. So yeah, we're gonna keep doing it that way. The new Akko switches, dude, I tried the cilantros at one of the Toronto meetups. I was genuinely so surprised by those switches. They felt good. Although right now, guys, I've kind of rediscovered my love for some tactile switches because of the Gateron Type Rs. Those are insanely good. Was my favorite Indian food? I can't say I've tried a whole lot, honestly, but there are some specific curries that I got to try. I don't remember the names of all of them. At some like fusion restaurant stuff, and they have been excellent. Although I don't really know what's good for like Indian food here in Toronto. Like I don't know where to go. Honestly, even in my area, like there's just not a lot of options for food in general. Like we don't even have a lot of fast food, so it's mostly just grocery stores. Honestly, it really got me into this hobby because of you. I got a Chronos 60 in January, so I really appreciate you, everything you do, brother. Thanks, Go. Appreciate you, man. Have a bag of Type Rs that are waiting for a 7V. Isn't there supposed to be a 7V redo coming out soon? Or something like that? Love from South Korea? Thanks, man. Love from Canada, guys. Okay, really quick. I just want to bring up the keyboard for like a second and we can go talking about random shit again. This is the ATA. This is from Geist. I have been looking into this board for a while and I've been humming and hawing whether or not I wanted to pull the trigger. I had to, guys. Honestly, I've been really into the HHKB kind of layout. I don't know why they sold so suddenly. I know I'd mentioned us doing a stream for a little bit, and I don't want to say it was, us kind of hyping that up a little bit, but they were available for so long, and then suddenly they were all gone. I think there is just like the copper versions left, which the copper versions are $1,600. This is not a cheap keyboard, by the way. The thing I liked about Geist, and I'm going to be completely upfront, I originally had ordered a Geist keyboard. The really big one with the cylinder on the back. The half circle, half moon, whatever you want to call it. I didn't have the absolute best group buy experience with that. It ended up running way too long and communication was kind of fickle. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. I ended up getting a refund, which they were happy to process, and everyone ended up getting their boards. Like I ended up building Mike's from Novel Keys, and he loved it. Everyone else I know loved their board, and I kind of regret it, kind of going back and saying, maybe I should take my money back type thing. But I do like Geist stuff, and I ended up seeing that a lot of their stuff now is in stock. Well, some of it, not all of it. So I wanted to kind of reinsert some of my support to the company because I do really like the designs, albeit they're expensive, and I don't think this is a keyboard for everyone. This is a very bespoke kind of keyboard. So I want everyone to kind of like keep that in mind. Like there are so many good options and budget options that kind of work. You don't need to pick up just this one here. But this one here has been on my radar for a little while. I just love the aesthetic of it. I have no idea how this is going to sound. This could sound like shit. So we're going to see. But again, love the aesthetic of these boards. I got one. They sent me two just because they wanted to engrave something on the inside. They were super, super sick and super sweet to do this. So in essence, this is sort of sponsored, but not really, just because it's something that I wanted anyways. So I don't know which one's which. I can't remember. I have to open them both up. But we're going to open them up. We're going to see. I don't even know if this is considered a review at this point because it's more of a personal build. But we can make it kind of a review. But it, yeah, we'll see. But you helped me get into the hobby. I have bought my first ever group buy, the C-Boss, also the Neo Ergo. I think those are extremely high-end anyways. Honestly, anything over $100 for a keyboard to me is high-end. Just saying. I think anything over $100 is high-end. All right. I don't know which one I want to build today. I think I am not going to build the copper one, the full copper, but the full copper is gorgeous. I kind of want to build the other one. We can open them both up here in a moment, but let's take a look at just this one here first. Hydrate, got you. 1 second. I finally bought a Neo 65 recently as my first, half-first custom keyboard. Absolutely love it. Oh, thanks. You got into the hobby because of me. Dude, that is incredibly amazing hearing that. Like, I don't even know what to say. Thank you guys for joining the hobby because of me. All right. This is the one I wanted to build. This is the initial edition. This one's so pretty, and the finish on this is so nice. Although in hindsight, I think I might have wanted to go with lunar sand, just because I kind of like the aesthetic of it. But they are beautiful looking keyboards. Here is that top accent piece, which we'll play around with here in a bit. It's a solid block of copper. The finish on this is just gorgeous. The machining is really well done too. Got some magnets here. I don't even know how to assemble this, so this is going to be my first time putting this together. I have a mode loop and a copper accent ring and bottom. I can send it to you to practice your patina magic on. Crummy, if you want me to build it and stuff, we can work something out. Oof, I'm excited. Yeah, this is going to be a neat board. The only thing is, how do I get this nicely out of the packaging here? They packaged this really well. Maybe too well. Oh, wow. This is... Okay, to describe what this finish is like, it almost has this gritty, almost like high-end... it's like a soft touch, but not actually soft. Like, it has a texture to it. And it is incredibly cool to touch this and feel that texture. Like, that already looks sick. Yeah, this is going to be such a cool board. Wow. That is really cool. Opening this thing up, too, what they've done here is rather interesting for how this... It's kind of like a bead blasted finish. I can't remember the exact thing they called this, but... And the way you open this up, too, is you unlock it with all these little tab things. So you just kind of go opposite of the arrows. And it should just pull out now, from what I understand. Oh, this one here goes that way. I think it pulls out. I can't remember actually how this works. Or does it slide out? Oh boy, I don't even remember. Oh no, opposite of the arrows. There we go. Yeah, I did show this off very briefly. You know what, Matthew? Let me actually double check. Again, this has been a little while it's been sitting here. I wanted to build this, but do they even say what this is technically done with? I remember I actually asked privately what this was done with. So let me maybe look into my private conversation here. Yeah, it's a special finish. So it is like a ceramic treatment. It's an ultra matte because of a ceramic treatment that they do. Like how that in detail, I'm not exactly sure. But again, it's such a unique finish. This, I think we're gonna take out too for the time being. And these are just like little gaskets. Let's take out these. These are like Velcroed in or something. There we go. And then they did engrave a little logo here for me, which was really cool to see as well. But it's on the inside. How cool is this, man? I think MX toys do need to be filmed. Dude, this is going to look so good. This is going to be so cool. All right, let's take out this now. The mounting, like the way this plate connects is so interesting as well. I like what they did here. It just uses these little like dumbbells, kind of like we've seen for gasket mounting, and it kind of slips onto this, which is so cool. You kind of just push in. Interesting. And here's our PCB. Dude, modern materials would look fucking sick on this, dude. I'm almost tempted to put it on this board, but I was thinking just something black and white, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, the spacebar cutout's interesting too. I wonder how that's going to affect sound, because you can see it's kind of raised on the inside here. Look at that from this side too. It's neat. Very, very cool. I think the only thing I'm not a fan of is how there's south and north facing switches on this PCB. I think that's a bit of a miss, and I'm not sure if there was a constraint with how this is supposed to work. So I think that's like I said, you know, I'm going to try to be objective about some stuff here. Ultimately, I've done this where it's been like opposite facing, and it really hasn't mattered too much in the long run. But, you know, for a lot of people, this wouldn't be considered super premium. The YouTube stream thumbnails, the previous build, it's okay. I don't really know how YouTube stuff works yet, so we'll figure it out as I go. It's only my second ever YouTube stream that's like consistent anyways. Cool. Well, interesting nonetheless. Very interesting. And then they did send over some foam and stuff, but I don't even know if I want to use the foam. And then there's also this riser piece, which is like there's different heights you can put this. So this is a different color accent. And then there should be one more accent they sent over too, which is this one. A polycarbonate one, which would be really cool. And this would just kind of go this way. Kind of just like pops in here. Just like that. Oh, the polycarb's kind of sick. So that would be the case. Shoot, do we use the polycarb? That looks actually insanely cool with the polycarb. I ordered one for Modern Materials but canceled because it's true HHKB, meaning you need a 6U spacebar. Oh, is there no 6U for that? I'm sure I have a 6U. Oh, you know what? Maybe I need a 6U wire then, huh? You know what? They should include wires with their kits. If they're going to do 6U, I think I have a few 6U wires. So I'm going to go find some. Hopefully I do. But yeah, pretty cool. I guess we'll leave this in. I think we'll probably need this in anyways, but pretty cool. All right, polycarb would be super sick if I could get like a Blade Runner LED behind it. That would be neat, yeah. Yeah, this is mine logistics. So super cool. Again, this is an extremely expensive build. As we kind of go here, I just want to make sure all the pieces are like to the highest degree of finishing with everything. And so far it looks amazing. Like even the polycarbonate piece looks absolutely well done. I think from another standpoint, I don't love the really long feet on this build. I think we've kind of seen now with a lot of different boards that we've built, we don't really, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't like the long feet. So I would like to see maybe in the future Geist machine do some stuff with shorter, smaller feet here. Longer feet tend to make the board thuddier. Not that that's kind of swayed people from not doing that. I think it's a personal preference thing at the end of the day. I don't think it's like the worst decision to be made. Cool though. Very cool. All right. I think there's another plate here too they sent over. Oh, plastic plates. I think I might go with the plastic plate because I think this is an FR4 plate. I think I might go with the PP plate instead. I think that might be the plate we end up using today, not so much the FR4. Although the FR4 is kind of cool with all the little designs on it, I'm actually not a huge fan of FR4 material when it comes to plates. I'm not a huge fan. I think FR4 to me feels oddly kind of cheap, but I mean, this is personal preference. Everyone has a bit of a different bias here and there, so PP plates are goated. Cone feet could be really interesting too. Or at least do with aglets undone with the tall... Oh yeah, where they have the edges of the long feet, yeah. Alright, give me 1 sec to find some space bars here. I should have a 6U somewhere. I'll have to find it. I think I have a few. Actually, what stabs should I even use today? Give me 1 sec, guys. 1 second. Should have 1 6U wire left. I need to order some more. I feel like you'd rather go plateless than FR4. Usually that's kind of how I feel. Yes, sir. Here's my last 6U wire. Oh, I forgot I had this. Damn, I have a lot of unused stabilizers here. Another day. Another day, dude. Alex, now that you've seen so many boards, what kind of features excite you? Oh, that's a really interesting question. Okay, while I get stabs, let me kind of answer that. For me, okay, honestly, I think I've built over 1,500 keyboards at this point here. For me, myself, clients, builds, I lost track. It might even be well over that, like well over that. I think nowadays, there has to be a lot of stuff that gets me going, like excitement-wise. Actually, maybe we'll just use clip-ins for this. Yeah, we'll use clip-ins. 1 sec. Design, number 1. It has to look good. Like, if it doesn't look like it's going to be timeless on my desk, I usually skip. That's like number 1. That will usually affect my overall purchasing decision. Number 2, front height and typing feel. Not even sound. Sound I can actually tune out nowadays. It's weird saying that. Sound is something that doesn't really bug me as much as it used to. It has to be typing feel. You know, when I'm typing a long format like article or anything up, like I can tune out the sound, or I'm listening to music, or half the time I'm not even paying attention. If the board doesn't feel good, then it's usually a skip from me. The next thing that I'll say is a really important aspect for me would be how well I can change things on the PCB. Meaning, like, is it VIA compatible? Am I going to struggle having to use a JSON file with different computers? That is, I think, another big aspect for me nowadays. I end up moving my keyboards a lot, like from one computer to another, and I tend to want to swap things to set them up. So, believe it or not, sound comes in like maybe last. It has to be, for me, again, it has to be looks and typing feel and feeling. Those are the big things for me. So, thank you, Jordan. I appreciate the prime, man. Also, apparently the barbecue thing is going to be... There's another barbecue thing going on in Toronto today. A few barbecue things, so we might go for a barbecue again tonight. We've had a long week. Again, I don't want to get into details, but we're kind of just like treating ourselves this weekend, just because like we need to have some escapism from like reality this weekend. So I might go for some ribs or some pulled pork or something tonight. I need to get some of my fix in. You know what I'm saying? I need some more food, man. But I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. Deserve it. Thanks, dude. Feel has become a lot more important recently, but I found that I don't enjoy overly bright upstrokes anymore. Totally fair. I think milky switches are really good for that then, if you want recommendations like you said. Milky switches, I feel like don't have as bright as an upstroke. I kind of feel the same as you. There's only certain switches that I like super bright. Actually, I was going to go with milky yellows today, but I actually ran out. So I have a little bit more of milky yellows on order. I think I only have like 40 milky yellows left. HMX Catmint relubed. Oh, those would be cool too. Do you guys relube your HMX though? I feel like a lot of people have been asking me. I've also had a bit of a long week. A few things in my life ended, learned a lot about myself, but I think I'm overall happier. Tat, that makes me happy hearing that you've kind of ended on a happy note, if that makes sense, or starting on a happy note. I really like that, Tat. That makes me really happy. I think a lot of things, even for myself, in parallel to you, I think there's been a few things that I've recognized this weekend that's a little bit different about, life in general. It's weird. Very weird. My wife told me she's pregnant. I can no longer buy keyboards. And you know what though? Congrats though, man, on that. That's an awesome thing to hear. I hope everything goes well. Keyboards will always be here. I always enjoy watching your YouTube. My first time watching you live. You've helped me a lot. Thank you, Chaos. That means a lot, man. Thank you, dude. I'm glad you're here. What springs do you prefer when spring swapping? That's a very personal choice, but dude, I'm a big fan, huge fan. I know Wuche has their ups and downs with things, but bro, Wuche springs and Wuche switches are actually kind of top tier. I'm not gonna lie. I really like Wuche 53 gram triple stage. I think they're one of, if not my favorite spring in the entire game. I love those. If I have to not pick a Wuche spring, probably the Geon springs, and then followed up by TX springs or even Sprit springs. Right now I'm using Sprit springs because I bought them in bulk. But yeah, dude, the Wuche springs are pretty top tier. What's my favorite layout of all time? Ugh. I feel like you guys are gonna hate my answer. I feel like, dude, just a good 75% is fine. If I could live off of 75 for the entirety of everything. But my more fun layouts I like are 65s or 60s. Anything small. I like small keyboards. But yeah, if I have to pick one for functionality and I'm only forced to pick one, then realistically it's 75, and I don't care, man. Having F keys and all those keys are fantastic, and 75 form factors are fantastic. Let's get this going here. What happened, if you don't mind me asking? With what? Sorry, CS? WS Pearl switches are top tier. Oh, the springs in them? Yeah. Dude, I told you, Wuche makes great springs. Or they source, I don't know if they're making them themselves, but they source pretty good springs. Like I said, people can poop on Wuche a little bit on certain things, and there are certain things I wish they'd improve too, but their switch parts are phenomenal. Even those new big Lucky switches that they released are pretty good too. A little bright sounding, but I mean, it's all preference. Make the KBD 75 great again? Do they still sell that? Gonna just do a little 205 on these cherry clip-ins. Actually, I'm gonna test one before we do all of them here. Yeah, I don't know how to change the thumbnail for YouTube, guys. I apologize. Let me see. Is it over here? Customization. I don't know how to do it. Manage? No, it's an exit the stream. I guess we'll deal with it. I'll learn next time. Don't stress, guys. It's just a thumbnail. Oh, here it is. Let's just change this to, I don't know. We'll just pick a bunch of switches. Here, it'll be completely different. Actually, can I just delete this? No, you can't. Undo. I can only change. Okay, next time I'll be sure to make a thumbnail. Okay, guys? I didn't realize that it took the thumbnail from the last time I edited a stream. So, my bad. What happened with your outlook on life? You're not comfortable talking? I'm not going to really go into details about it just because I'm still processing it. but I will repeat something I kind of put in my Discord, which was take advantage of people you take advantage of being able to see and appreciate and love people you can while they're here. That is all I'm going to say. I think in a lot of ways, not that I wasn't already aware, but like we're only human. Like we have mortality, if that makes sense. And I think a lot of the times growing up, I mean, I'm almost in my mid 30s now, and I still kind of feel like, dude, it's weird. You sometimes feel like you're unstoppable, like you're immortal. You know, like you don't think of the things past your mortality. You think, I'll wake up the next day. It's fine. But I think being like seeing other things happen and just like, I don't know, when you start thinking about that and having things happen is, you know, you start to think of things like that. So I wouldn't have guessed a day over 47. That's kind of effed up, robot. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, for real. Happy Father's Day. What's up, Clack? Yes, you never realize until something's... Yeah, exactly, Tad. Don't take things for granted is a good thing, too. Do you have info on when it's expected for the Manta to be shipped to vendors? Well, me and Bull sort of talked about this. Bull's going to go live again tomorrow, talking about the Manta, but we're hoping like 3-ish months. Oh, wait, no, we need... Actually, no, we're not going to use this lube. I'm going to use dielectric grease. We're hoping around that time span. Hi, Zany. How you doing? Hope you process it well. Thank you, Toxic. Appreciate it, man. Manta is planned for Q2 2026 based on the last info I got from Bull. Yeah, 3 to 4-ish months minimum, I'd say. But we're going to try to speed it along as best as we can. Like, we don't want a huge turnaround time. Again, these pieces for the Manta are quite complex, so... I don't know why I didn't read, Zany. Justice is best served cold, but because if it was served warm, it would be just water. Oh. Hoping this fine Sunday afternoon is treating you well, I changed my brother's Minecraft username to alexotos, so now you are a pro Skyblock player. Dude, hell yeah! Anyways, the next time if I go to the airport, I'll bring a bottle of shampoo, but it will be filled with yogurt. When TSL tells me liquids aren't allowed, I'll open the shampoo bottle and drink it. Damn, that is kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy talk. Is there any mechanical keyboard layout the same look as the Wooting HE? You know, it's funny. I have a Wooting 80 HE. I just don't remember what that looks like now, layout-wise. It's not with me at the moment, though. That's the thing. Okay, we're good. I'll just continue with you using cherry clippings. That was better than TTS. Appreciate it, bro. By the way, let me tell you guys about the wildest email I got in a long time. So, I got an email yesterday, and I told you guys I wasn't going to look at emails, but I kind of was peeking, and the title of the email was Build Commission, and then it had like an M dash, and it just said high paying job. So I was like, okay, someone needs a lot of work done to a keyboard. Usually that's what that kind of would mean. But that wasn't really it. I opened up the email. I didn't respond to this, but I opened up the email, and it was a long message, and I think it was all done by AI too, or something. And they basically said that they're willing to sponsor a keyboard build, sponsor quotations, and they wanted a particular build done, and they wanted me to source everything. And I said, okay. Reading on, I'm like, what's the build they want done? Maybe I can make a few dollars. They told me that to pick something from my keyboards, my collection of keyboards, and then sell it to them. But they wanted me to rebuild it. Which I'm just already like, huh? As the email went on, because this is a long email, they basically said that I didn't even get to really choose what keyboard they wanted. They gave me a list of 3 or 4 keyboards in my collection, and they said, pick one of these and sell it to me. And they listed like the Kohaku, the unicorn, yada yada yada. At the very end, it was basically just asking for a free build done, and that they'd send me over the switches to put it in, and it would be really good exposure or something. But I don't know. It was pretty crazy. Like, someone took the time to write this like 4 or 5 page thing and tell me to give them one of my keyboards for exposure on my channel, which made no sense to me. But yeah, basically that's what happened. Happy Father... Thank you, Burn! So nice.
Happy Father's Day to Daddy Alex, father of Keebs, Keeb Communities, and his wild in chat. Wow, oh wow, smooches, and it really scamming you out of your own Keebs is wild.
Honestly, it could have been Annette. It could have been, dude. Yeah, pretty crazy. I didn't think he would read the email from my burner. Yeah, like, people sometimes email me about wanting free things, and usually I don't respond to them, but it had to be, like, the most, like, it got me hooked, because it was kind of like, hey, man, willing to pay you, and then at the end it was, no, I'm not actually paying you. So, pretty crazy. That's the kind of request you'd propose as an F-off price? Yeah, a little bit. Which reminds me, I gotta actually do emails this weekend. Alex, I wrote a long question before. Could you respond to that? Can you, I hate to ask this, can you copy paste it? I have it set right now where I can't scroll up and chat very well, so. Can I have your Toxic FMJ? I'll pay you. The FMJ I'm probably going to give away. I don't know the value of the FMJ at this point here, but I'm probably just going to end up giving that away. I got the Orbit 2 from the group buy a few days ago. I rebuilt it yesterday with aluminum plate. I noticed that it's quite pingy in the arrow keys and macro column. I think it's the plate because putting tape near the spot I mean, force break maybe? Does it need to be force broken? It could be something is touching the sides. Maybe there's like a little piece of metal touching that's causing some micro vibrations, which can appear that it's, doing that. Could you share the email address? I might want this person to write our next MailChimp send. Honestly, they got me hooked, dude. So they were a pretty good writer. Alex, I tried again really digging the Onyx FRL TKL lately for its unique design. Did you like it? Actually, I built one recently. Yeah, I liked it. Actually, it was a really nice board. I don't think it's like my absolute favorite in the world for sound profile, especially for the price. But ultimately, like, it's a really slick looking keyboard that I really appreciate. It is quite expensive, though. It is quite the expensive project. I have force break on the case. Could it be that the plate itself is pinging? Yeah, it could also be warped in some areas. So, do you have to censor when you read the chat because you're on YouTube anyways? Oh, no, I don't have to censor anything. I just don't know how... I'm still in the midst of setting everything up, so it's like a big mega stream type thing, but I haven't actually... I haven't had the time. So, guys, I've looped all my switches obscuras for mode, and they feel uneven. Camille, my worry is maybe, and I really don't like saying this because, like, I don't want to put the blame on you. Perhaps there's a little bit of, like, heavy-handedness on some switches, and then sometimes you don't. I used to do that too. Like, it could be a little bit of accidentally lubing things a little too heavy. That's why nowadays when I'm going through things, like, I just go with a minimal amount of lube, and if I want more, I do a second coat. That's why sometimes it's a little bit more of a lengthy process, but it adds to the consistency. You just got to be a little careful. Sometimes even how you put lube on the springs, you could, accidentally get it into a spot you don't want to. What am I doing? I'm lubing stabilizers. Do you think the M1 V5 Monsgeek is a good keyboard? I haven't really tried much from Monsgeek. I've heard good things. And then I've also heard mixed reviews on some of their customer service. So I'm not too sure, is my answer. It could be also overlubed, yep. Unwavering until it reaches its final consummation. Thank you, Isip. Thank you. Or is it Espy? Thank you, dude. Is this the channel I saw the collab between Tryhard and Surround before? I'm not too sure which one that is, Robot. Alex might have called you iron at modding switches. Bro, I could never do that. I'm not gonna... I think everyone learns at different paces, and you're never gonna be good at something you do the very first time around. Well, the majority of people won't be. I'm definitely not. Dude, the first time I soldered, it was a mess. The second time I soldered, I burned my finger. The third time, I got a little better. So, you know, it was a learning process, man. Sometimes we have to... You have to suck at what we do to get better, you know what I mean? You have to have that uphill battle, you know? Yeah, lube them really lightly. In my opinion, this board is not too good. Just get some board non-flex at PCB. What do you mean? Again, I kind of said this at the beginning of the stream. I think all boards can be really fun. It's a hobby. And I want to really stress this too with keyboards. Because I feel like I feel like even sometimes me, I lose the plot, you know? This is a hobby at the end of the day. Finding the best of the hobby, and I've said this a long time ago, so this is not new. Finding the best thing or the end game thing in a hobby, for me, I would never want to do. Because that just means the hobby's done for me. Like, that could be the thing that ends my love for something. Like, if I find the best and nothing can ever compare, what's the point? So for me, like, when I look at all these different keyboards and collect them, like I do, it's just me collecting things. Like, it's me enjoying the process of building something and taking my time, like, making memories while I do so, instead of just kind of rushing to the end and being like, how does this compare to literally everything else? Which, you know, matters to some people, and I totally understand that as well, but... You know, I don't want to rush to some end game that kills my joy of the thing I'm enjoying. You know what I mean? There are so many good keyboards, and there's also so many good cheap keyboards, and also so many good expensive keyboards, and stuff that you never... I mean, it's luxury goods at the end of the day, right? All keyboards are. I don't care what anyone says. My standpoint is if you're buying something other than a Dell keyboard, you know, the membrane keyboards, it's a luxury board. You don't actually need it. You want it because it looks cool, or you think it might make you better at typing type thing, but it's not actually needed. I think to some degree Apple Magic keyboards are also luxury. I think some people can have a true endgame board, but personally enjoy using different stuff. Yeah, exactly. Enjoying trying different things. Modding's a really big part of the hobby for me, you know? All right. Stabs are installed. Endgame Bluetooth stabs. We all know this. Bro, one day I'm going to make my dream a reality, bro. We're going to have wireless stabs that operate on small batteries. For no reason at all, other than just cause. All right, how does this work exactly? We're going to put these in now. So let's take these out of this and move them to this plate. Endgame is the computer... Wait, Endgame is just... Wait, sorry. Endgame is the computer just reads our minds and we no longer need peripherals. Isn't that already kind of a thing? Didn't I see that once? By the way, guys, actually, speaking of computers and stuff, I'm literally about to downgrade my iOS 26 developer beta. It is awful. I do not like the new... It's not even that there's bugs or anything. I don't like the new theme at all. I think it looks terrible. I want to go back. So I think I'm going to downgrade, and I think I'm going to try to not have to upgrade until I absolutely have to. It is abysmal. I don't like any of the animations. There's only like one new animation that I kind of like, but I do not like the new glass theme. To me, it looks tacky, and I kind of hate it. So I kind of really dislike it. All right. What's a good way to do all this? Should I put these in first?
Did you know? Did you know
Oh.
that when you eating hamburger is getting less and less hamburger?
Yeah.
Hamburger. At first it was Full's hamburger, but then you take a a bite, so now it's a little bit less of hamburger, and if you keep eating hamburger, it's gonna keep getting even less of hamburger, until eventually there no hamburger, no more. And the reason is gone is hamburgers gotta no more can't be hamburgers, which means you ate it, because exist to be this don't, get?
Yet. Understood. I get that. There's a deeper meaning there, guys. It's to not consume the hamburger. Make the hamburger last as long as you possibly can. That is the deeper meaning, truly. Maybe we should put these on first, on the plate. Truly the deeper meaning. Brought to you by Anit. Yeah. Little awkward this, now that I'm actually seeing this in person here. But it looks like the idea is we want to lock these into the plate first. Perhaps that's the easier way to do it. Or I don't know, maybe it is easier on the PCB first. Is the Venom 60 HE worth it? I haven't really used a Venom PCB at length. I have slightly, and I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty good. I have used the Wooting software in PCB, and I thought the Wooting stuff was really good. Right now, though, I have a Wooting, and I'm not using the Wooting. The keyboard I'm using the most still is probably the Ducky. I really like the Ducky board. I'm actually going to be doing another look at the Ducky board soon, too, because the software is getting a slight update, apparently. But the Wooting stuff, I think the software for the Wooting is absolutely the best. I don't think it can even compare for anything else for me, but... the Ducky...
An ant is wrong
one.
about hamburgers.
Is he? Explain why, Pocket. What's going on? Is there something I don't know about hamburgers? Whatever happened to the final mouse board? The centerpiece? I have no clue what's going on. Didn't they do a pre-sale for that or something? I haven't really been following it, to be honest. After trying that other touchscreen keyboard from that other brand that was doing a Kickstarter, I think in a lot of ways I kind of just shrugged and said, all right, I don't know if these are for me. The back of the board? Yeah. It's very simple. One of the reasons I didn't pick up the TKD 175, the base being a 75% with a 7U spacebar makes me want to buy one so bad. For which board? Sorry? Is that a WL mouse? It is. More importantly, what happened to the Flux? Oh yeah, I forgot about that board. I have no clue. I absolutely have no clue on this. I like the way this locks together. This is cool. However, I will say they could have made this a little bit more user-friendly in some degree. Bit awkward to put these in, but honestly not terrible. Adds another element to the build, I suppose. So that's locked in now. Perfect. Ooh, I do like the PP plate on this. That looks really clean. Keybay the base? Oh, the base. Sorry, I thought we meant the base of something else, like a baseboard or something like that. I didn't mind the bass. The bass was okay. I think the sound profile wasn't like my fave out of all the boards, and also it was a bit chunky aesthetically, which is a hit and miss for people. Cool. We're gonna solder this together too. We're using some MX2As today. Ace of Base. Have you seen the Optimum Tech's new video? He said that mechanical switches are obsolete. Oh man, I did see that. I love Optimum's videos. I love them. Like, he's been a huge inspiration. Even aesthetically, like, I've always been into his aesthetics. I don't agree with his take there. I hate to say it. Again, I have nothing but love for the man. I don't really... Did he get murdered in the comment section? I only watched it on my phone, honestly. I didn't read anyone's comments. I thought his take was a little bit iffy, if I'm being real. I don't really understand. It kind of almost felt like a sales pitch, if I'm being real. Like it kind of just it kind of felt like, hey, go buy my thing. But like I don't just okay, here's my thing, right? I want to break it down into a few things. If he would have narrowly talked about the gaming scene, particularly more of like a pro gaming scene, and didn't label mechanical switches as a general obsolete kind of thing, I think it would have been a better targeted video. As well as in the video, he mentioned Cherry. And I think mentioning Cherry, if you're really, really into mechanical keyboards, Cherry has had no innovation for so long. They've been stagnant and they've kind of been riding nostalgia. Like that's how Cherry's always operated in the last like little bit. If you look at any other brands like Gateron or any other other mechanical switches, there's so many brands now and they're all doing well. So I think like looking at that particular point of just Cherry is a little bit biased as well. Which again, when I was watching the video, I was just like, you know, Cherry declining is more about other switch makers entering the mech keyboard switch space. Yeah. Again, I think his video had merit if he had specifically talked about perhaps gaming performance. But I've always been a big firm believer in use what you have. So like, I also think calling something like obsolete when it's not actually obsolete, you know, it's just something that's newer out, maybe that has different, I don't know, different performance levels. I don't know. It felt a little off base. That's all. Again, nothing but love and respect for the man, but it kind of just felt like cherry-picked information with very generalized comments. So, I don't know. I think there's more to keyboards in general than just performance. So, he just wanted a video to show off his McLaren. Yeah, I thought that was a little out of touch as well. It is what it is. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. I have been absolutely loving... I've been doing keyboards a long time. Strictly keyboards for a long time. I have been using HE stuff for the last year-ish now, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I game with a Hall Effect keyboard. But I do not like typing on my Hall Effect keyboards for work. I do not like the feeling of them at all. In fact, I like something a bit more customized and tailored to how I type. You know, like when it comes to a heavier spring, or I kind of like the mechanical grit of something touching the leaf, or, you know, that kind of idea. So I think there's room for nuances there. And it's actually, is it really even nuances? Yeah, I don't know. Cherry is timeless? Yeah, I'm using Cherry switches right now. There was also other people who have been shitting on Cherry lately, and I don't know, I just feel like it has reasons why I even picked Cherry, so. I just looked at the comments in that video, someone pointed out that the info feels misleading, and somehow someone responded with, bro, you're not the target audience. If you choose a keyboard based off its sound, you're a filthy casual, don't really care about in-game performance. Okay. This is kind of where I feel like gaming tech is a little bit like... I actually I have a lot of friends who gaming stuff full-time. And I talk to brands. The best piece of advice the best quote I've ever got from any brand was someone told me that one of the best things you can do for yourself, if you have the money to do so and the means to do so, is buy all the best equipment. And when you realize you're not good at what you do, then you can't blame the equipment. So I feel like there's a large aspect of playing video games that is game sense and reaction time and just skill set. Equipment, in all honesty, also age, like reaction time, like all this stuff. I was playing Counter-Strike Source and Counter-Strike 1.6 as a teenager, and I was really good at it. Like I was on back in the day there was different league names, but I was in a very small league, and I can never go back to how good I was. Even if I played every single day, which I have played shooters every single day at one point, even if I have all the best equipment, I can never go be as good. And you know what? I used shit equipment back then. I can never, like, I've watched I have old videos. I'm never going to show you guys, but because I have like a squeaky voice. But I have old videos of just watching myself and how fast I was. And I was like, dude, how did I manage that? And you know what? I didn't have good equipment. I used a membrane keyboard and an old Logitech mouse. So again, I think equipment matters, but I don't think it matters as much as people think it does. You know, I think other things like your internet connection for one, and sorry, I mean peripheral equipment. You know, obviously frame rate matters and stuff too, but peripheral equipment is a very minor part of what makes you good at gaming, in my humble opinion. So I use all the best stuff now, and I'm shit at games, bro. I'm so bad. Using a wireless office mouse and cooking book as a mouse pad, stomped on CSGO, and I have old man reaction times. True, dude. Are the 30s better than your 20s so far? Well, okay. It's a very... Yes, because I had a very different approach to how I lived in my 20s. I was just... If you guys want to know, I was just depressed. Like, I think I couldn't save any money because I was spend it all on dumb stuff, and I think in my late 20s, I realized, like, oh shit, I'm not doing so well right now. I need to figure out my life. I like my 30s more. I feel like I've really calmed down as a person, so. Dude, Uwu, thank you for being the biggest influence in the keyboard journey and making me feel welcome at the time of my life when I desperately needed a creative outlet. Thank you, dude. Also, happy Canadian Grand Prix. Thank you, man. I appreciate the 10, bro. I appreciate that, man. You guys do it more for me, believe it or not. You guys give me the creative juice, so to speak. Thank you, man. I was not ready to get hit by alexotos truck at 2 a.m. Thanks, dear. Thanks for being here. It's better to discover yourself in your 20s so you're set mentally straight for later on. Yeah, like, if I could give you... I am by no means this type of person, but, like, if I could give you guys, like, 2 pieces of advice... We'll just say 2. Number 1... My number 1 piece of advice, and this comes from consumption, all right? Consuming things. Literally, buy once, cry once, okay? That is like the biggest piece of advice I can give you. Save up for the thing that you want, opposed to buying all the little things that lead up to the purchase you want at the end anyways. If I stuck to this rule, I probably would have still had the things I want and had money to spare. Instead, I would kind of like get suckered into buying like the $30 option or the $40 option when I know I wanted the $100 option. And then I would just upgrade slowly and waste even more money if I just waited a few months, you know? So I think that's like my number 1 piece of advice. Number 2 piece of advice, and this also comes down to finances and financials. I feel like this is so important, especially for now, is just pace yourself. Like, you don't need to buy everything. I've kind of dubbed it the joy of missing out opposed to the fear of missing out. You know, I've equated this to how I grew up. And it's weird because I kind of lost this when I was in my 20s. When I was like a young boy, we brought Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards to school. Never once was I like, Dad, I need all these cards, or Mom, I need all these cards. I would come to school and get genuinely so excited for my friends who had shit that I didn't, because that means I got to see the cool stuff. I do think social media obviously plays into this a little bit, but I remember that feeling of like going to school and being like, dude, someone had all of the Exodia cards, or someone had 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, or someone had some card that I've never seen before, and it was like the most mind-boggling thing ever. Yeah, you'd feel a little bit of jealousy, which is, I think, totally human and normal. Yeah, you'd probably say to yourself, I'd want this too, but you would get genuinely excited for your friends. And I stopped doing that for a long time. So my other piece of advice is just like, enjoy other people being happy. You guys will have, like, it has done wonders for my mental. I've obviously slipped up. There are times where sometimes I get a little bit too jealous and I'm just like, fuck, that sucks. I want that thing too. Obviously very human as well, but for the most part, there are people here who have keyboards that I would like love. They have tons of keycap sets. They have workstations that are even more cool. But at the end of the day, like, I want people to be happy, you know? Like, I want my friends and people who I respect and all of you guys, you know, to have cool things. So I think the joy of missing out is like a huge one too. To be honest, you could always trade up to those cool cards. Yeah, that too. But yeah, can you please suggest some PC boards no matter what the layout? Have you looked into the Agar? I don't know if the Agar still has the PC stuff. The Agar is pretty cool. But yeah, that's kind of like my one thing that I would say. They have new colors. Yeah, dude, the Agar I think is a really good one to look at. What's up, Summer Sky? How you doing? I believe there are still some PC Agars available. Well, there you guys go. I've been watching you build boards that I would absolutely hate if they were on my desk. Brings me calm to a stressful week. I'm glad, Ruby. Ada, Alex, I highly recommend a long pull for the spacebar. Okay, then, you know what I might do? Fuck it. Maybe we do have to mil-max the spacebar. I had a feeling maybe I should have mil-maxed this, but good thing I didn't solder anything yet. We'll mil-max it. I need to order more sockets. This is all I have left. By the way, if you guys need me to do mil-max services, email me ahead of time. I can mil-max most boards that are solder only, which means it makes them hot swappable. Yeah, I really should just start mil-maxing like literally every spacebar that I see and use, honestly. I was looking to making a mouse order soon. Which one? Honestly, I just don't really like looking at other people's stuff. I try to get my own thing and just try to enjoy what I can afford. Dude, that's honestly such a healthy way to look at things too. I need tips to eliminate metal sound on the Space R2. Shoot, it's been a little while since I've built that, honestly. Have you tried force breaking or... I'd have to look at the construction of the board. I really don't remember. Really don't remember how that board sound or was case constructed, anything like that. Asterisk! Yes, there will be lots and lots and lots, man. It's going to be always in tandem with Twitch. The Optica was really nice. I liked the Optica. I feel it like it helped on the sitch, especially when pressing more on the left backspace. The lube is really light, nothing like before. I think I'm lost. What board is it again? Sorry, Camille. Parabolica is really nice. Beginner question. What does no max... Wait. So I don't know what no max means. That's the first time I'm hearing that. But what mil max is, if you guys want to know. By the way, if you guys ask questions, I'm always happy to answer. I love answering questions like this. Mil-maxing is these two little sockets I put over here. So what I'll end up doing is I'll end up soldering these two metal sockets. See how they look different from the rest of the pins? This will allow my keyboard that is normally only solderable to become hot swap. Mil-max sockets are just basically these little tiny things here. In a lot of ways, I find these to be a lot better than just the standard Kale hot swap sockets, but they do require you to solder them in. But it's a one-time deal. Like, you solder them in, and then you're good to go. Then you can just have at it. So, Mil-max means the PCB is hot swap, but will not use Kale or whatever variant sockets. Yes, it will not be socketed from the bottom. They're anchored from the top, which means you have almost zero chance of you breaking the socket from pushing in a switch. You could technically break these sockets, but it's a very rare occurrence. Very, very rare. Yeah, maybe it was like a miss here, but yeah, like I think Mil-max is the only thing I've heard. There's also different sockets nowadays. There's the Chill-max ones, but... Bro, Zet, how is the table going? Is it smiling already? Nah, bro, we're looking hella good right now. The table is super flat, okay? It's looking super good, dude. Look at this. No tapping, nothing like that. Bubbles straight in the middle there. Need a longer level? Bro, I can never win with anyone. That's crazy, dude. Is the coating on your double mouse more matte than glossy? It's very matte. I don't think there's any glossy bits about this. No glossiness at all. Will you do a latest keyboard collection video? A lot of people have asked me for that. I definitely want to. I just need to find some time for it, that's all. Alright, I think this is good. So, I think we can start soldering this. Let's make sure everything's pushed in. I say this tip all the time, but guys, if you guys are doing any soldering or even just putting switches in of any caliber, any switch, HE switches, MX switches, anything, push them in fully. You want them to be as close to the PCB as possible for various reasons, but the big reason for me on mechanical keyboard switches is sound. You want them to be the best sounding possible, so. You know when Alex looks over a chat for a second and reads your message in his head and gives it an audible sigh? You've said something you said something good? Oh my god, dude. Where don't they have plastic pins? Yes, but even with plates. So I'm aware that you don't solder in HE switches, but sometimes people don't properly seat their switch on a plate. And again, you just want those to be all flush. You want consistency with your keyboard. So it's just about seating things in the plate. I mean, same thing goes with hot swap boards. You just want to seat everything properly. You don't want the plate to be kind of like wavy or anything like that. Everything needs to be consistent. Consistency with these keyboards is key. Favorite plate material for the mode sonnet? Aluminum. By far, aluminum is my favorite for all the mode stuff. Is there a keyboard in your collection that springs to mind that you've used the least? Hold on. Are you essentially asking like my least favorite keyboard? Unfortunately, I already know what the answer is. Like, out of all my personal keyboards, I feel like I've used all of them quite a bit. But this is, unfortunately, my least used. I just suck at typing on this thing. I do. I love the damn thing to death. But I suck at typing on it. That's why it's usually just on my shelf being displayed. I tried recently again, but it's probably my least used. I suck at it, man. It's just, I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. All right, let's solder these in. Could be used as a frisbee. Damn. Poor keyboard. Okay. Is the factory lube on MX2A good? Absolutely not. Cherry stinks at doing factory lube. I would 100% re-lube them. If you have the opportunity and the know-how, definitely re-lube them. Wouldn't switching to it constantly make you use the board faster? No, it's actually the opposite for me. It's because I use so many different things. Oh, shit. I'm actually slower at typing on it. Cherry lube is like Gorilla Glue? Damn. Yeah, I would just go unlubed Cherry, guys. Cherry and Gatoron, bro. Gatoron's actually equally as shit with their stock lube. I don't know why they can't seem to get stock lubricant consistent from Gatoron. Cherry I've just given up with, man. Cherry's awful. I love their switches to death, but yeah, they suck at doing stock lube. Happy Father's Day to all the dads watching. Hi, Cass. How you doing? If you can only go with one board for the rest of your life, what would it be? You know, my honest answer here, Any 75 or TKL would be my first answer to you, and if I had to go specifics, the Mode Sonnet. I like the Sonnet a lot. I've always liked the Sonnet. I think the design aesthetic is very me. So yeah, I'd go with Mode Sonnet. I like the mounting style on it. Again, 75s are great for literally everything. Cherry housing is one hell of a drug for real. It's true. Also, the unlubed version of the Geon is not 100% unlubed. There's a chance you might see some factory lube. Yes, you are very right on that. I don't blame Geon though. That's just Cherry. I got unlubed switches from them once, from Cherry, and all the springs had lube on the bottom, and that's what they considered originally as unlubed. I think they've changed that recently, or not recently, but since I've done that, but yeah. Is what it is. First row done. Are there any factory lube switches that are okay from factory? I mean, dude, HMX, their new batches and new molds have been excellent. I think SWK does a pretty decent job. Key Geek is okay. I would say they're just okay. And then, this is a little bit biased because I'm working with them as well on this. And I'm going to let you guys decide because I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're the best, but I really like what Type Plus is doing. That's why I collab with them on a Switch. They're doing a new process with lubricant that should make it extremely consistent, but they're not out yet. And I'm going to let you guys figure out if you guys even like those or not. So, but right now, the stuff that's out, I think HMX is probably doing the best job. Their new molds have been super consistent. I don't feel like I ever have to lube them. B-Sun? Have I had good experiences with B-Sun? I'm actually lubing a bunch of B-Sun switches right now. Where did I put them? They are these ones. I have half of them lubed. Well, I've got like 15 of them lubed. The Bumblebee linears, I'm lubing these. I'd say they're just alright. Like the stock lube, I've had to just go over. They're not that great. If HMX did standard travel switches, they would be my go-to. I'm surprised they don't. They do some, but they don't do as much as I'd even like. I think the macchiatos are full travel, no? Bit of a callback to old HMX stuff. Milktooth packaging, love it. Yeah, my first time ordering from them. Very, very nice. They're going to get a star on their vendor list. Although, I might not give them a star yet, because they did... Like, even though I paid full price for everything, like, they did recognize, like, my email, I guess. Even though it's not my actual email. Or maybe my name gave it away or something. I always feel like I get treated a little better when that happens. Yeah, I mean, I'm in Canada, so I don't really have to order from Milktooth. Like, American stuff is a little bit hard for me to order sometimes. Especially now. But pretty good experience. How do you clean stock lube off switches? Truth is I don't. I just go over it or spread it out. Why waste the lube, you know what I mean? Snow Crash and Arowana Blacks are full travel. I thought Snow Crashers were long pull. Am I misremembering that? Oh, I brought a switch. Look at that. Almost missed soldering one. Even if you don't end up buying from Milktooth, I've used his website to browse and shop, so I make sure to order every now and then. Their website's really pretty. I like their website a lot. Honestly, I had an overall like good experience. They shipped out quickly. The shipping options were very clear cut. Lots of switch options. The pricing is normal, so... Oh, I thought for some reason I thought Snow Crash was a full trap or a long pull. Man, I'm misremembering then. My mistake. Wait, what were macchiatos then? Weren't macchiatos full travel? For cleaning stock lube, I just put the stems in a tub with a few cotton balls and shake it around. You could do that too. Thank you, Cheese Man. I appreciate this, the Prime, man. And thanks everyone for tuning in. Really do appreciate it, guys. Doesn't give me the TTS option. Twitch is so weird for some reason. Sometimes it just auto subs you, and then sometimes it gives you lots of options. I don't know why Twitch does that. Their platform sometimes is a little bit hard to navigate as someone who's like viewing. Yeah, a little weird. I bet tomorrow when you open stream it'll have the TTS sub thing. Yeah, it probably will. And then it'll kind of like make you sub again, but like you won't have to pay anything. It's strange. Macchiatos are 3.8. My mistake. I'm misremembering. I still like the macchiatos. They felt good. Didn't really feel like a long pull switch. I mean, 3.8's not super crazy anyways.
Do you remember tragedy of Darth Belgus that oink? He became so hype. The only thing he was afraid of was losing his hype, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew, then his apprentice sold him a blue keyboard. Ironic. He could save others from the tide, but not himself.
Will there be a part 3 to this? I need to know more what happened to Darth Belgus the Doink. I'm hoping there's more to this story. Maybe we can write a novel at one point. Just lore, you know what I mean? What is my EDC camera of choice? Okay, pausing one more time. I love camera talk. I don't really got one right now. I'm just kind of using my... Honestly, I'm using the EDC camera is the Fuji. Sometimes the other camera like the Leica or something, but right now I might sell the Fuji X100, which I'm probably gonna, and I'm gonna go buy again. I regret selling this. I'm going back to the Ricoh. The Ricoh was 1000% the best EDC camera. You can literally stick the damn thing in your pocket. It produced such good little JPEGs. I'm going back. I think the Ricoh GR3 is like the move. I know I don't have Crumpled. You already know, dude. I don't have it anymore. I sold it because I thought I would like the Fuji more. I don't. I really don't. Actually, dude, it's weird. I hate using my phone for photos. My phone already struggles with battery life whenever I use it for anything else. Even though it's a brand new phone. You put me the fuck on with GR3. Love mine. It's so good. It's such a good camera. It's not even crazy expensive for what it is, too. But yeah, I'm going back. The stream is too interesting. Thank you, Lamb. I appreciate that. I got it specifically to stop taking photos with my phone. Yeah. I gave my GR3 like its full workup when we did our, like, what was it, 2 years ago when we did our little like week's trip to Banff. My first ever vacation in my entire life. And I used the GR3 more than anything else. It was such a good walk-around camera. Weighed nothing. You could, again, I put it in my pocket 90% of the time, my jacket pocket. So I'm gonna wait until the new, I think there's a new Ricoh coming out. And then when the new Ricoh comes out, I'll probably snag that one. But yes, the Fuji is my first time using any of the X100 series, and honestly last time using it. It was just okay. Not my cup of tea. I do love Fuji cameras, but I prefer interchangeable lenses on my Fuji cameras. Mandatory Japan trip is part of the Ricoh package. Did you go yet then? Still waiting on my voucher? Oh. 1600 for the XEH5 or whatever it's called now is wild. Oh, for the new Fuji? Dude, I do not agree with Fuji prices. That's actually, if you guys want to know, why I have not changed the face camera back to Fuji. The Fuji price points are ridiculous right now. So stupid. That's why I have not fixed any of my Fujis that have broken. I'm done spending the coin of what Fuji wants. It's too expensive. Way too expensive for just all right cameras. Like, I like them, don't get me wrong. If they were priced what they used to be priced as, then yeah, sure. My top view camera is still my Fuji. They look good. They're good looking cameras. But I got them when they weren't overpriced. I got all of these when they were normal pricing. Fuji will be priced higher than Hasselblad soon. We'll see. I would get the X100V, but I'm not a fan of the 23 focal length. I actually don't mind it. I just find that there are some days I don't want to use Fuji's Fuji's 23 mil. I think it's just all right. Again, I think if the camera was $800 less than what I paid for it, I would probably be happier, but I am not super happy. So, is what it is. Let me wash my hands really quick, guys. Hi, Elbez. How you doing? I love my GFX 100 too. I don't think it was an unfair price, but they are just going wild. The GFX series is really cool by Fuji. I mean, technically they use the same sensors as Hasselblad. It's all, a Sony sensor. I don't know about anything new right now, but it's just the tuning of the sensor. I just didn't, I don't think the price points of Fuji makes a lot of sense. Damn, I missed this hobby? What's stopping you from coming back? Alright, so, now to put this in. Ooh, I am excited. I cannot wait to build this, guys. I cannot wait. Let's see, let's stick this in again. Actually, no, we need a few things first. We need to put these on first, which go here. I might have to turn on my fan, or off my fan in the background. I didn't like my solder fumes, but it's kind of loud. You know, actually, let's just put these in here. It's easier to do it this way. And then these go like this. I have some Telios V2 lubed. Telios? Damn, I have not heard Telios in quite some time. Now, what's the best way to do this? I guess realistically I have to take this off first. Yes, okay. Now we can slide this in. Oh, lost one of my little foam tabs there. I had the same issue. Yeah, I think, again, I'm trying to also look at this as a bit of a review as well. I think the mounting system is interesting, but I think could have been done better as a two-piece design. Like right now, it almost feels like this is supposed to be a very premium, experience, but I think it's also not at the same time. What's the best way to clean your keyboard? I use those little air can things. I think those are lovely to use. Let's actually just push this in with this. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much in now. Although this gasket, I feel like could be in a little bit better. Perfect. And then now this should act... I don't know if I want to use the copper or polycarbonate for now. I guess it doesn't really matter. But this should act as the bottom buffer for the gasket. Okay. I think even a daughter board would have been a nice inclusion here, but now it's all locked in place. Perfect. Hi, Gantio. How you doing? I'm not the only one who still has Zeal switches. I have one batch of Zeal switches somewhere hidden away, but I need to go figure out where I put those. Just make sure these are all locked in place. Perfect. All right. Now we can move on to the second part of our build today. Ooh, this looks so nice. Again, I'm not 100% sold on the build experience here. I think it works. I don't think this is the best build experience. Not something that I expected of a price point of this caliber here. I feel like it could have been refined a little bit. But aesthetically and visually, this is really pretty. And I don't know if this was maybe a trade-off to get it to look like this. Very seamless looking. You know, just having this one piece of construction in this slide-in PCB. It's interesting, though. I'll give them that. I've never seen anything like it. But so pretty, man. Like, look how beautiful this thing is. We're going to be doing a second one of these, too, which is going to be even more fun. But I think I want to do... Oh, man, I don't even know. I kind of just want to do a standard black on white. Or, sorry, white on black. Just a nice wob keycap set for this. I feel like that would look really sharp on this board right now. What do you guys think? I think so, right? I love this. Honestly, this looks so beautiful. I was gonna get Noir. I had it already set just because. Where did I put it? Oh gosh, over here. I'm using the PP plate, the polypropylene. I hope I have a. You know, actually, let me check. Do I have a 6U spacebar for this? I'm pretty sure I do. I think this is it here, right? Let's just triple check I have the 6U ready to go. Okay, we got it. Again, someone suggested they've already built this and they said we might want to use a long pull spacebar, but we'll see. But let's put everything on before we jump to conclusions, because keyboards can sound different towards the end. Ooh, maybe I should have used a full caps lock for this, because actually, nah, I like having this look as the stepped anyways. We'll leave it like that. The corners aren't sharp. Everything's nicely tapered off. Like, nothing feels sharp. The build construction of this is literally top tier. I think Geist did a wonderful job making this case just beautiful. It is a great looking case. Like, it screams quality. Noir has 6U, yeah. You know, for future reference too, Matthew, I think you can just add that to the base kit. I don't think a 6U costs too much to add. Last I recall looking at some of the price charts. For some reason, Matthew, are you sure your set doesn't have a 6U? I swear to God it did. Maybe I'm misremembering. Wasn't it part of like one of the kits? I swear. Maybe I'm misremembering. And it's on me if I am. I love this set. I'm actually typing on it right now. It is so good. Fika, thank you so much for the tier 1, man. Thank you, dude. Honestly, for the next one we build, I'm definitely going to be putting on concrete or something. Any of the modern material sets. I'm pretty, like I said, I thought they did have 6Us in them. This goes wrong one. Mode 80 R2, please, and I will give you a half-broken kidney for it. I don't know if they're gonna go with you could Matthew's in chat. We can pester him, but I don't know if Mode's gonna do a 80 round 2. That would be cool though. I know a lot of people who would want that. I know a lot of people who would. This is not... Isn't it creme the set that's opposite color? Like this, kind of? Isn't creme like this? This is just the accents for Noir. Aren't they doing a rebrand of Matthew? Yeah, if you guys haven't, check out Matthew's video for that. So inspirational. I watched his video on the mode rebrand, and then it got me super inspired to start working on my own website again. Because I'd been kind of like, not uninspired by it, but like, I just didn't want to do it. Such a good video. This is looking nice, guys. Looking really nice. Good to know. Didn't add 6U, I should have. Hey, we live and learn. Honestly, there's been a few things that like I've done in the past, you Matthew, that I'm like, oh fuck, I should have added this. Don't spoil the spacebar. I think I'm just making sure it fits. That's it. But yeah, I'll stop. I promise. We're doing Scooped. Late to the stream, but how's everyone doing? I cannot complain today. I think today I feel very mentally refreshed. I'm glad I took some time to detox from social media yesterday and the day prior. But I can't complain. I'm doing my best out here. I hope you're doing good too. Did you ask earlier what lube do I use? Sorry, I didn't catch what you're saying. Also, there is a chance that I'm used to how Gatorade smoothies are. Oh, I think I asked what keyboard it was again because I couldn't remember the keyboard. All right, almost done. Mode Envoy. Oh, really? You should not have any metal. Oh, it's the Envoy. Undo the 2 screws in the Envoy. Undo both of them. Either half screw them in or just get rid of them. And then all the metallic noise will go away. The Envoy is a bit of a weird one because it kind of suffers from resonance that happens from the screw. The screws should have been done as plastic pegs or something, where they didn't have any resonance, or they should have had on the plate itself a silicone dampener like around it. But unfortunately, it doesn't have that, but it's easily remedied by just not screwing it in. Like, it's not like, unless you plan on like throwing around your keyboard, it won't affect you at all. Which I hope no one throws around their keyboards. If your screws aren't in, then your PCB is probably sliding forward and downwards, which is another small long-term issue I've seen with some of the Mode Envoys. You just have to better seat them on the lattice blocks. My Mode Envoy got so much use that I've flattened the lattice blocks entirely, but if you position it correctly, you won't even notice that they're flat. I don't know. Honestly, Abraham, like, we had planned this stream for a little while on this particular day, and I was so happy because this board had lots of stock. I thought it had lots of stock, but it seems like they're all gone now. I don't know what happened. I'm glad I got it when I did, but like, I'm also sad because I was hoping to show you guys how cool this thing was. And, oh well. What is the 40% board on the market right now? Like the best 40% board? Ooh. I don't know what's out right now on the market for 40%. I really don't know. I feel like there's a bunch of cool 40% out though. I was asking about the scratchiness of Obscuras. Oh, Obscuras will always be a bit naturally scratchy, by the way. Maybe if that better answers your question. That's, I think, one of the draws to Obscuras, at least for me, is they always have a bit of natural scratchiness. Shame, this is exactly the board I'm looking for. Appreciate the stream. I'm going to keep tabs in the company now. Geist makes really cool things. They're just more like, in quotations, bespoke and expensive. I will admit though, like, do I regret? No, sorry, not do I regret. Do I think this is overpriced? Yes. Would I buy it though? Like over and over and over again? Like, would I pick up this and it? Yes, is the answer. I really like the way this is designed, and I'm never one to shy away from like supporting designers and vendors and people who clearly put a lot of passion into what they're doing. There are some stuff. There's room for improvement, though. Like, I'm not going to say this is a perfect project. And I would love if they took some notes on, some stuff here that I'm talking about today. For example, I think that the whole slide-in system feels a bit wonky with those foam gaskets. I feel like maybe those could have been done in a different fashion. Perhaps having the foam attached to the plate would have been better. These little lock-in nubs, or whatever you want to call them, aren't super well designed either. They kind of take away from a little bit of the build experience more than add to it. Overall, though, I mean, I really like the board. I think the board's awesome. I think all high-end boards are not worth like the money they are. Again, they're luxury goods, and you have to remember that they're just literally luxury products. You're not gonna they're not gonna feed you, Yeah, the USB port also could be a daughter board. I feel like that would be a huge improvement for this too, with like a pogo pin. They could have literally done a pogo pin with the USB daughter board inside this bottom block. You know what I mean? Like, for example, maybe it's easier to show you guys on this. What they could have done, because they already have a bunch of the gaskets incorporated into this butt block over here. If they had done like a daughter board, just a small one, kind of like the Fly daughter board, right? Or I don't know, just something that kind of stuck inwards. It could have been really cool to have, or even just a horizontal one, or a vertical daughter board. Just like plug in, auto locks in with that, and then boom, you have a daughter board and a centered USB-C port. Like I said, I think there's room for improvement here, but it's such an interesting project regardless. I think it's gorgeous. Like I said, I really like this. Put, instead of delete, like a true HHKB. I don't ever use that key, though. I like delete. Hey, guys, you know what? I'm leaving delete over here, okay? Just like I like my stepped caps. I like the way it visually looks. I know that's supposed to be control, but I like the way this looks. I'm going to leave it like that. Where's my V? V. I know I have it. I literally just took this set off of something else. There it is. It's really cool. And I guess the other question that I kind of ask myself these days is, where do I see this product fitting in for people? But clearly there was interest in this project, as I guess it's sold out now. Guys, honestly, like, I communicated with Geist on, like, when I was going to do this and stuff. And I let people know way ahead of time when I was building this, so I don't know what happened to the stock in between that, but, I mean, I'm happy for them. That means the project did well. Ooh, it's so light. This particular version is so light without the copper bottom over here. Oh, that looks so cool. Okay, now let's give us a little visual here of everything. So here it is with the polycarbonate riser on the back. Dude, I love this. I think this is so pretty. I also love the HHK, like the true HHKB layout, so this is like something I'm super into right now. Super cool. The finish of this feels so good too. Something about PC being tastefully used like that is very hot. Dude, I was going to say the same thing. I like the use of polycarbonate for this particular one here. We'll see about the copper too. Like, the copper will obviously look cool on this too, but you know what? I'm kind of vibing right now with just this. You know what would be really cool too? Not that I want to do this because I'm nervous. Imagine if this was flame patina. Although I think this is the wrong board to flame patina. This particular one has a little bit of weight, but the other one, which is all copper, is even heavier, so. That looks nice. That does look really cool. I love that you can see all the stuff going on through the polycarb bottom too. And the Event Horizon's a better looking keyboard than this. I would actually argue the Event Horizon's a bit busy looking. I love it. It's still really good. But I think this suits a very minimalistic, brutalist kind of theme in a few different ways too. Maybe less on the brutalist side, but very minimalistic, very like very industrial, maybe a better word. I love this. This looks super nice. Super, super nice. Ooh. Okay. I'm hoping this sounds good too. I'm gonna drink some water beforehand. Gio, thank you so much for the tier 1. Alright, let's see what this sounds like. We're using a PP plate. I would have loved to see an aluminum plate for this. Okay, I want to change the spacebar. I don't particularly love the sound of the spacebar. It's a bit sharp sounding. I'm very happy with the alphas, I'll give you that. It is a bit quieter. I'm assuming it's because we're using the PP plate. Again, I would have loved to see an aluminum plate with this. Let's try a different spacebar switch. I like the alphas though. The alphas sound really nice. Actually, let me see one other thing here. I think it's because it's not making contact with the desk pad. It dampens the sound. It could a little bit too. Like also, this is just one sheet of aluminum. So I was actually expecting this to be very bright, like overly bright. There's also that other sheet of foam that we still left inside there too. I don't know if we absolutely need that. Considering taking that out, maybe that'll open up the board too. But let me change the spacebar here. Because again, I like the alphas. Not loving my spaceBars. Ooh, jeez. Okay. You know what, too? We could potentially remove these two pieces of foam. I don't know how much we need these two underneath, too. These two under the tabs. I feel like this is kind of making it a little too sharp, like a little too heavy. Realistically, though, this shouldn't be bothering it that much. We'll see. Sounds like something's between the sides of the spacebar. I mean, yeah, it's probably these two, but we're going to see. I want to experiment a little bit about this. Again, I actually wasn't expecting this to sound like super good. I'm actually happy with the way it sounds right now. Yeah, let's try an Obscura first. Although I think I did pop out my spacebar here by accident. Can you put that back into the PCB here? You know what, actually, let's take this apart for a second. The clip-in, I think, got unclipped. I think he kept the aluminum thick enough that it isn't too bright. Yeah, I think so too. I think I'm on the same vibe with you there. Let's see. Let's unlock it a little bit here. Ada sounds amazing foamless, to be honest. No hollowness at all. Yeah, I'm going to remove the foam underneath, and I actually want to remove these two pieces of foam too. Now let's see. What's an easy way to yoink this out? I guess we do have to take out all those little tab things. They hide them pretty well. Alex, I'm trying to ask this in the most unrude way, but what's special about this board that's asking $700 price point? Blaze, I've always said this about Geist stuff. I don't think there's a reason to buy this other than if you just like the style. I don't think there's anything particularly like groundbreaking about these boards. I like the style of them. I like the aesthetics. I think even the finishes they use, even on the last one, the finishes were really nice too. These are a bit more like done in small batches, you know, whether or not you can consider that to be like, you know, a weird way to improve the price type thing, or I don't know, whatever. Like, I just think that realistically, if you're picking something like this up, it's just because you like the way it looks and the aesthetic speaks to you. That's it. Being 100%. I don't think this is one of those boards that's meant to be supposed to be done in some sort of like, you know, mass manufactured ways, but you don't have to use the silicone pins for solder from what I'm seeing. Oh, I'm going to leave them there anyways. I could take them out though. But yeah, one of those things. Yeah, I bet these two pieces here are making it sound a little bit weird too. I'm in the same boat as you guys. Let's just undo all the pins here, and then we'll yoink it out. The pin design's interesting. I don't think you need to validate it, Alex. If you like it, it's premium for you. Yeah. I don't think it needs validation per se, but oh, you know what? I think we need to remove the top row of keycaps, which is a bit awkward too. The main body's just one piece. A tactile rosewood sounds like a cool switch. I've been getting back into tactiles. I have a few that I'm probably going to place an order for soon-ish. I'm just waiting. I'm being patient because I've just ordered a few switches already for myself, and I don't want to overdo it. I don't know. I said that too. I kind of made the same criticism where I felt like they didn't absolutely need to make the two top rows a different direction type thing, but I thought the same thing. Okay, we're also going to remove this. I don't think we need this. I feel like this might be taking away more than it's adding for me. And then I'm also going to remove these two. I don't think we need these. I don't think these will bottom out against anything. We'll see. Removing the PCB seems scary. Yeah, it's definitely not the most like thought out way. Well, I shouldn't say thought out, because it clearly was thought out like this, but I wouldn't say it's the most elegant way, for sure. Is that easier to do like this? Oh, this way first. I think the other way's easier. Why are Type R's so popular? They're a good sounding tactile, man. Super good sounding tactile. They killed it with that tactile. They really did. Have you seen any cool Alice boards? I feel like, didn't we just have a whole bunch of cool Alice boards release? I thought we did. The Corgi? Was that an Alice board? I don't really recall. Honestly, there's so many interesting keyboards that come out these days. I'm getting my custom Alice prototype next week. I'm hyped. Oh, you're doing one? Let's go. Okay. So now these are done. We can put this back on. Okay. I need to make sure this isn't shorting before we do anything here, because maybe we do need the bottom piece. So let's see. Yeah, actually, it seems fine. All right, perfect. Cool. Very cool. Oh, you know what? I forgot to make sure that the space bar was not... Well, let's take this part one more time. Are the keycaps hitting the foam on the two lower corners? The foam is very thin. It shouldn't hit the keycaps. But yeah, these little gaskets they're including on the bottom corners, they aren't my favorite. Like I said, I think there could have been a more elegant way to do those two. The QK Alice the duo interests me. Oh, the duo is really nice. Okay, I'm just gonna take this out one more time here, guys. I really liked the duo. Oh, I see what happened here. This spacebar got a little loose. There we go, perfect. Hi from Indonesia. I've been following you for a bit in the keyboard hobby. Love your content. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Oh, no. I'm not nervous doing this. I understand, though, the sentiment. I appreciate you being nervous for me, though. I really do. Alright, let's put this one here on now. See what it sounds like and feels like with this bad boy. The copper's cool too. Alright. The copper's really cool. The metal tweezers in the edge of the board. Oh, no, we're good. Trust me, I have a lot of experience doing stuff like that. Okay. Maybe I'll go back in and put this if I want to one more time, but experimenting's fun. See what I get to here. Alright, I'm already feeling like we're back in a spot where I'm happy here. I might switch back to the cherry switch, actually. Let's switch back. Toolless assembly is very convenient. Yeah, I wouldn't say assembly is like terrible here. Like I said, it feels a bit awkward, but I feel like now that I've kind of gotten the hang of how this works, it's not like awful. Could it be better? Yes. Absolutely yes. I might go back in one last time though to put this foam piece back in. I think I actually did kind of like that a little bit versus it not having it. But I feel like, yeah, the spacebar gaskets there wasn't really my vibe. Didn't expect it to sound as good as it did. Same. Same. These are in the wrong spots. I wholeheartedly agree. I do love the way this looks, though. This is, like, such a vibe for me. Do you plan on checking out the Eve? Yes. The Eve is on my list to check out. And then, actually, if you guys care, or even give a shit, I'm going to take a look at the Evo 80 soon, too. A keyboard that I feel like I've been meaning to check out for so long, and people have been wanting me to check out. I just haven't had the opportunity. But that might be sooner rather than later. Actually, I don't even think this needs the foam at all. I don't even think it was the copper. I literally think it's just the... Oh, okay. I'm vibing with this now. I think I might go back in and put this just to see one last time. But I'm liking this. I really think, though, guys, it was these two pieces. I might go in one more time. There is this very underground keyboard that you may not have heard of. Mode Envoy alexotos edition. Is it underground? I think that the design of the board, it sounded too muted with the foam. Oh, with this guy? I don't know. I kind of feel like this wasn't too bad. Just because it's like minimal amounts. Switch to PC and see? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Let's put this on. Yeah, this is just magnetic, which I actually really think this is a cool piece. Let's see if the... I don't think it's the weight over here, or whatever you want to call it, the accent, the stand, the kickstand thing. I literally think it was just these two, which made the spacebar feel a bit too solid in a lot of ways. I'm curious to put this back in here. Very, very curious. What was that other piece of foam? Oh, it's just a piece of plate foam. Yeah, plate foam. Very, very curious. And this is actually a lowered stand, which we could try this too. Because this makes the keyboard a little bit more flat. The typing angle won't be as aggressive. Let's try that too. I like the finish of the black one. It's the same as the rest of the board. That nice like gritty finish. Oh yeah, that's like super flat now. Look at that. So this is... Actually, that makes a pretty big difference. Yeah, like you almost don't need... I feel like it's a bit too flat for me right now. Like I feel like it's kind of on a negative angle, oddly enough. Literally 0 degrees. Cool though. Very interesting that you can even do that. Yeah, it's a really slick idea. I like that a lot. Like I said, there's some cool concepts in this board. Very, very interesting concepts. God, I love the way that looks with the black. Holy shit, that looks awesome with the black. Well, damn. Okay, let me switch back one more time to the foam. Cool. Yeah, I know. The wrist cost is not worth. It's definitely not worth. Okay, let's switch back. Very cool, though. I'm like vibing with how this works. Appreciate everyone tuning in, by the way. Yeah, like, again, I think there are really unique, cool concepts that Geist is doing with this board. I do think there could be some refinement, though. Like, obviously, I think that's something that could go a long way for this project. But for what it's worth, I think this is cool. Now, is it worth your money? If you like the aesthetics, I think the big thing here is aesthetics. They finished the quality, attention to detail. It seems like it's all there for this board, for the most part. Like, attention to detail when it comes to like how some of these things work. I feel like that comes with experience type thing, but it works. The original Geist, I still think is the more out there board, but I think this is a bit more conservative without being like overly crazy with this with its aesthetic. I do like this one here better though, versus the original Geist. I think this is the more down to earth product. Very, very much so more tasteful in a lot of ways too. The magnetic artisan badge thingy is pretty cool too. Yeah. They have some cool concepts at Geist. Let's see. Gotta just figure out a way to slide this back out. There we go. Alright, so let's put back in this foam. Where's the foam? Where did I stick it? Huh? Oh, underneath the keyboard. You talked about phones a while ago. Which phone do you use now? Plans to switch to something new in the future? I'm using the Apple phone right now. It's okay. It's a phone. Phones are, I don't know, man. I don't really care about phones anymore. I think phones for me at this point here, like, just do whatever works for you workflow wise. Like if you need Apple, then go for it. If you need Android, go for it. I think power wise, I'm not playing games on my phone. I'm doing like the average, browsing social media, stuff like that. I don't know, man. I feel like just do whatever makes you comfortable with the cells. You know, they're all powerful as all hell now, so you don't need to worry too much about which phone you end up going with. I'm happy with my iPhone. It's been all right. This way first. What's going on here? iPhone was pretty much most of my life. It's just boring and switched. What happened? Oh no, I'm just putting back in the phone, but phone. Keep mispronouncing things. I'm just trying to slide it in carefully here, is all. I think I snagged it a little bit on the bottom. There we go, got it. I do sometimes things better in my lap. All right, so that's in. Everything looks good. Okay, so the only thing I left off this time was those two. The two little gaskets or pieces of foam for this. Let's go back to the polycarbonate one. Kind of what we started off our journey with here. Okay, kind of sounds fun again. Shifty PCB, just dealt with that a few minutes ago myself. Had to move the PCB around to get it sit right with the F1 8X plateless kit. Oh, is that right? Even for the F1? Interesting. Ooh, the spacebar's sounding really fun right now. Here. Cool product, though. The keys look really shaky. Is that supposed to be happening? The keys look shaky? I wouldn't say these are shaky at all. I do think the foam sheet... I think I do like the foam sheet on the bottom. Bro, me too, honestly. I think I'm kind of vibing it now. I'm putting it back in place and I'm vibing with it. I think this was the right decision to make. Ooh, the spacebar is interesting on this. Or maybe cut the foam underneath the spacebar switch. Yeah, you could also trim it. I think I'm going to leave it for now. But let's see. Alright, I think I'm at a point now I'm really happy with this. Just from changing up some ways the stock keyboard was being built. Let me turn off my fan. I can hear it. It's pretty loud in the background. One second, guys. Oh, peace and quiet. The spacebar is really fun on this board. That's an aggressive sounding spacebar. I'm kind of vibing with that though. I think where this could be better is an aluminum plate. Like for real, I think an aluminum plate would be killer on this board. I think plastic plate or the FR4 plate options might be a little bit limiting. Yeah, these are cherries. I think maybe even going with a long pole switch overall might be like, you know, the move here. I still like it though. I don't think this is like the poppiest board I've heard, you know, compared to how full aluminum plates sound with like this kind of combo of stuff. I really do think it's the plastic plate here. I think the spacebar sounds amazing. I think the whole board looks amazing. I think the installation of things on this board could be better. I think there could be some elements that are a bit more thought through. I like some of the ideas they have here. I like being able to, I mean, rather quickly switch my typing angle without it looking ugly. Because I feel like sometimes you have like those ugly kind of flip out, kick out feet, or you have to do this whole idea of doing this crazy swap to get some different typing angles. I like the fact that this is so easy to swap out. The quality of this case is pretty insane too. This thing would be wild, some little ghosts on the copper version. Yeah, maybe. What 60% would you recommend nowadays? There are so many good ones. We just literally did like 4 60s. The copper headpiece, yeah. I'll swap back to the copper for you guys. Could be some elements that need to be thought through. Sounds like they've given it more effort for that price. Yeah, here's the thing, right? I think there are some things that have been done for this board that very clearly have not been done before. And I don't want to take away what Geist is doing here. I don't think it sounds much different. I just think it's like the refinement, like the, all right, in real like use, will this be easy to have anyone build this type thing? And I think there's definitely some like hesitation even from my end here. I do think this is a beautiful product though, and I think Geist should be like crazy happy with how this turned out. This looks like an expensive keyboard. That's the other thing I want to say too. I've built a lot of boards. This does give the essence of something really high end. I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's kind of like the finish. The finish looks different in person too than regular anodization. Maybe it's the finish. Maybe it's kind of like the way everything is shaped. I don't know. It looks high end, which I'm happy to say that's an important thing too. It feels really good too. It's not overly firm. Kind of almost feels like just a bit of a stiffer gasket mount. So overall, very happy with the build. You know, this doesn't look out of place in a mansion. Yeah, very, very happy with the overall build. I think they did an excellent job. It stands out, which I think is good too. They don't do multiple runs of their boards, right? It would make sense because it's not a continuous manufacturer revision or left out and you get what you get. I think so, Burn. I think this is like a one and done type thing. I don't know if they plan on doing more of this, but it's cool. It's a very cool, fun project. We're going to be doing another one soon too, the copper version, which probably will sound much, much different. But like I said, they did a really good job with this. Like this screams high end to me. Again, my usual thing I leave off on nowadays is like, if you guys are looking at this board being like, Alex, this is expensive. Like this is a very boutique board. Yeah, I think it's fine that they want to do a boutique board. Like I said, it's going to get the utmost criticism, which is, I think the build process really needs to kind of be looked at into something a bit more seamless. Other than that, they did an excellent job in everything else. Would I buy this over... Like, if you're asking me what's better, this or like a Neo board or something, or even if it's compared to another high-end board, I think you're going to enjoy the build process on the other high-end boards that I've built. I think even there's very few that I would say like have been complex or bad build processes. Like very, very few. And we can exclude those. You'll probably enjoy the other ones. They cost probably half the price of this. But obviously this is very unique in its own way. And if you're interested, which clearly people are very interested in this kind of look. So I like it. Turned out good. Such an old-fashioned words, groceries. Who says that? Wait, groceries is an old-fashioned word? What's the new word for groceries? What's the new word? Hold on, pause. Trader Joe's? Is use that as like the noun for groceries or whatever? Or I guess the verbiage? Doing groceries? When can we expect another Manta build? If I'm not mistaken, you mentioned building Manta with Milky Yellows. Yes, I'm thinking the next Manta build will probably be... Bull's doing one tomorrow, maybe mid-July, and then another one mid-August. Sending love from Singapore. It's 3 a.m. here watching your streams as I tune my stabs. Love your work. Your content inspired me into the hobby. Thank you so much. That means a lot, man. Could you read my previous message? Let me click your name here. I think this still works on this viewport. Is the copper one personal too? Technically, they sent me two. Got one, they sent two. So I'm going to see what we have to do with the copper one. Like I said, I'm not too sure. Maybe we'll end up giving one away. We can see. Probably have to send it back though, but we'll see. I haven't got that far yet, so we'll plan that out. I don't know when we're going to be doing that, but the copper one we also took a look at, so. I don't know. Honestly, I've planned out my happy hacking keyword for a little while now, and every time I get to the point where I want to do it, something comes up, so we'll see. Received the giveaway prize. Oh, congrats, Elbas. I'm very happy. I'm very happy it came in safely. But very, very pretty keyboard from Geist here. Like I said, I like everything they do. I've always been a big fan of the aesthetic, and I'm finally happy to have one in my possession. Definitely kind of unique in this sense. How much does this weigh? I don't know. Where's my scale? Let me go find my scale and I'll tell you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Yeah, if you guys are taking off now, I'll probably just measure weigh the keyboard here, and then we'll go our separate ways. But where did I put my scale? I had it yesterday when I was measuring boxes. Did I bring it upstairs? Over here. I got it. Right next to the other boxes. Let's see how much this one weighs. Ooh, that was a bad noise. I'm so sorry, guys. Fully built, 3.8 pounds. Not bad. Well, 3 pounds, 8 ounces, I should say. And then we have 1.6-ish kilograms, 1.59 kilograms. Cool. This is probably going to be on my desk for a little while. I've been itching to build this. Been so excited to build this thing. Let me quickly tell you guys what's happening next week as well. Because next week we are going to be doing a few things. I just measure small boxes on it. So we have a Mode 65 coming up tomorrow, which is going to be done with Silent Yellow Jades, which I'm really excited to try. Then we have a Key Cult number 2, which is apparently a special colorway happening on June 18th. We have a Lily on June 20th. And then we have, hopefully, some of the Dynacap stuff on the weekend. Well, I'm hoping we get the Dynacap stuff in. Because I've been also itching to do the Dynacap stuff, which is EC stuff, in case you guys are wondering. It's the new wave. Everyone's finally going to EC stuff. But, yeah, I'm hoping we get that in. If not, we'll do a personal board or maybe a client board of some sort. We'll see. But all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with me here. I'm going to use this keyboard to send everyone off today. You know, for my desk, it actually works that this is on the left side. What a nice looking board. Honestly, I'm so happy with the way this turned out. This looks so good. Maybe I use a lighter color keycap set, though. Hot on the left side. Let's see who's online. Thank you guys for tuning in as usual. Let's go see who is streaming. I don't think anyone's doing any.
CRR.
Thank you so much, dude. Actually, what are the keybinds for this? Let's see. Actually, I've been watching a movie called Prey that I didn't even know existed until literally this morning, so... Oh, I have the CN... I think I need to edit the PCB on this. Yeah, the PCB's 1 over for everything. Okay, I need to edit all the buttons for this. Let me use this keyboard, actually. Let's go to... I don't know who's streaming, guys. Honestly, let's just raid someone doing... you know what? We'll just raid Dash Ducks. Jay, is Jay on? I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Let's do Jay. Oh my god, please copy and paste correctly. There we go. No, he's on. It looks like he just started. All right, guys, you have a good one. I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Any updates on Event Horizon is doing a round 2? As far as I know, no. And honestly, at this point here, if I'm being real with you guys about the Event Horizon, I don't know what's happening even with the round 1. It just seems like there's stupid hangups for the round 1 that I really don't agree with. That should be better considered. So I would not even be super keen on a round 2 at this point here. Unless they can refine their process, but it seems like they don't even know what's going on, so I don't know. All right, guys, you guys have a good one. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Be patient with one another. Remember to tell someone you love them, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye, everybody. Love you.